Are y'all ready? It's time. Woo! Good evening and welcome to Moments with Mama Sue. Listen, it seems like it has been forever ago since I saw you. Thanks for tapping in tonight. It's going to be a fun conversation. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to have some upbeat, positive conversation. And you never hardly know what to expect when you're on here because so many awesome and incredible things happen right here on Moments with Mama Sue. I want to thank you for tuning in. I've had an incredible day today. I hope you have too. Tell us what you've been having going on with you in the chat today. We'd love to hear about it. And also got to let you know that there's still quite a few things coming up. And if it's been busy, as busy for you as it has been for me, then you've been just going, almost like the little ever ready bunny, just going. But I am so grateful to the Lord that He allows us an opportunity to do what we do on Team Jesus. So I have no complaints, only praise because God has been just that good. Listen, we want to give a shout out to everybody who is watching with us in real time, and most especially to those who are going to be watching a little bit later via WJIL.today, Gospel Radio, Roku, and Fire Stick TV. Hey, everybody, we're so glad that you tune in via that platform. I'm glad to have that opportunity. And I do believe with my whole heart that God is up to something. He continues to do great things. We love all of the listeners and watchers that tune in via that platform. Thank you so much. And some of you are there at 3 a.m., 10 a.m., and 8 o'clock p.m. Whenever it is you're tuning in, it's just all good. I am just excited about the whole thing. And then let me tell you, I am out here in these social media streets. Yes, I am. I am on TikTok every day, Monday through Friday at 12 noon Central Standard Time. So if you get your lunch break, grab your sandwich, your soup, your salad, or your granola bar and come on in and let's turn your lunch break into a praise break. We have some awesome time and I'm sharing devotions and revelations that the Lord has given me from the Word. And we just blessing God on that platform. And so if you're blessed to tune in with us at lunch, maybe you just have to hit it for a couple of minutes and then go out. It's quite all right. Whatever is necessary, we'll just be glad to have you to tune in with us on tomorrow. I will be at the Southeast Senior Center here in Midland, Texas. I am there on the first and third Tuesday of every month for a senior sing along. And let me tell you, those vivacious elderly citizens, we are all over it. We are having a good time singing. I'm on the piano and accompanying them, and we just bless God until we feel better about the whole thing. So if you're in Midland, America, you're invited. Come on by the Southeast Senior Center. And if you're not out of luck, because you can tune in to my Facebook page at Mama Sue Roseberry around 10:30 ish, and we'll be on there singing, and you will be able to hear us. We have all kinds of people tune in. Sometimes industry artists tune in, and songwriters and singers. It's just a blessed time. I promise you, your heart will be lifted and your spirits will soar as we worship together on that platform. So that's going on. And then I want you to remember that we're finishing up the month of October strong. So tomorrow I will also be in the evening at the youth storytelling workshop that's going to be at the downtown branch of the Midland Library. We've been doing workshops with youth all month, all during the month of October in preparation for our upcoming storytelling festival that takes place in December. It will be the 33rd Midland Storytelling Festival, and I can hardly wait. I'm looking forward to it, but our young people are preparing so that they can tell stories. We know we have a featured performance, a live 2-hour broadcast on Basing PBS on that Friday evening, as well as festivities throughout the whole weekend of December the 4th through the 6th. So go ahead and put that on your calendar now so you won't be stuck out. We don't want you to miss a thing. We want you to be able to catch all of it. And then for everybody that's tuning in today, I want to remind you to go to SueRoseberry.com. Subscribe. Become a subscriber, a member of Mama Sue's family. There's a paid subscribership there, but there's also a free subscribership, and we want you to be able to see all of what we're posting and just stay in touch with what we're doing, because we are moving around and just trying to do all that we can for the kingdom. And your involvement, your support, and most of all, your prayers make all of that something wonderful to happen. And we have a place of our own. So I just want to make sure that you are connected. I want you to be connected to whatever it is that we have going on, and you will be blessed. I am blessed just because you are connected, and we want to just keep the good times rolling. Well, listen, we are going to have some wonderful discussion tonight, because if you are like me and you're tuning into your television, almost every other commercial, every other one for sure, and I'm probably saying that to be nice because it really is every one, is talking about enrolling for healthcare, open enrollment. And I will guarantee you that if you don't need the services of our special guest tonight, there will be somebody in your life, I promise you, will need to know what he has to offer. And we are going to hear from him right after this.
It's beyond entertainment. It's an experience. Book Mama Sue Roseberry today.
Worthy.
Ooh, he's a great guy. That's my byline all the time. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. He's so great. And because he's great, he has given wonderful, wonderful talents and abilities to people to be a blessing to the body of Christ. I met this next gentleman at our national GMWA convention this past July. He was one of the vendors, one of the sponsors, and he had such a contagious personality. And he was so outgoing and so connected. And he was there and was sharing with all who would pass by the many things that he was able to enlighten people about regarding insurance. Now, y'all already know some of us have had a humbug with various types of insurance. So we need somebody who is integral, who can explain what's going on, answer any questions that we have, and make it plain to us. Write the vision and make it plain so we can have a good understanding. Most especially our elderly saints, those of us who are in our wisdom years and we done been here a little while and we trying to navigate all of these things and make it do what it do. So my special guest comes to us tonight from Mississippi. He is the neighborhood insurance man, and we're going to hear all about what he does, and he does more than insurance besides. But would you welcome to Moments with Mama Sue, Mr. Joshua McClain? Welcome.
Hi, how you doing, Mama Sue?
Doing
Look,
good.
I gotta say for you, Mama Sue, Mama Sue, Mama Sue. I'm
Well,
excited
well,
about being here.
I'm so excited about having you. How was your day today?
My day was pretty good. I'm telling you, I have been working ever since the 15th. I thank God for my wife because she put up with all this travel I have to do. But it's we my wife and my two daughters, we actually just went to the mountains the first week of October because I try to get away with them like at least the first week of October because I know 6 weeks for me up to December 7th. I mean, I'm on my nice recline at the house, and I'm getting calls back to back. Mama Sue, I got them calling me saying, "Josh, you gonna be at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock?" Oh wow. And these people stay up all night long. I mean, I'm like, wow. And I used to try to travel like at night like that, but I kind of stopped, because it's like, and I got some clients, I meet them at 5 a.m. in the AM doing their enrollments. Like it's something. Um, but people watching TV and things like that, and that needs some help. And just a little bit myself, my name is Minister Josh McClain. I am a minister, I ordained minister as well under Jackson Revival Center. My pastor is Pastor Jennifer Beard, and I have been in ministry for a long time now. I started from Grenada, Mississippi, and just helping God's people. I've always had a heart to help people, even from a little child. My mom, I have my sister Trinity. Y'all may know her. She's has a thing called Friends as well, and she does her own little shows as well with Friends Fusion. And then I have my other brothers. We are all talented. We're singers, we're songwriters. I got brothers in Alabama area. He's a musician. My other brother in Texas, they're musicians. They play for churches every Sunday morning. And so back in the day, Mama Sue, what I would normally do is they would play the piano in the house in Grenada, Mississippi, right? Mom had that had that nice little piano, and I would do the singing and they'll do the playing.
Ah,
But it's a blessing. Yes, yes, yes. They would do I do the singing, and I be singing the Clark sister songs and everything. And they would
well,
be
you
they
are.
were doing all the playing and stuff. And I be singing, "It's my living in vain."
All right
And
now.
they come up. But
All
it
right.
was amazing, and that's how we grew up. You know, my mom grew up in Church of God in Christ, and as time went by, I grew from a little boy from singing. The pastor loved me so much, Elder William Pratt. He is gone now to be with the Lord from Baptist Church of God in Christ, and I remember he seen me. He was like, I was 7 years old, and he said, I think I was like 10 or something like that, and he said, I want you in the sanctuary choir. I said, what? He said, "Yeah, you figure I mean a 10-year-old up there singing in the church choir. I mean, he'll move from the youth choir to the church choir. I'm
From the
like, Lord
Sunshine Band.
Jesus." And then we had, and then we had, I had I had a church mother, and her name was Mother Bew. And Mother Beauty May loved me, and she said she seen I love tamarine, so she bought me my first tamarine. So I love the tamarine. So obviously, when I be in church on Sunday morning at my church, Jackson Bible Center, I be tearing the tamarine up. For years, I played the tamarine. I remember one time I was in church as a little boy, and I was playing the tamarine, and I just felt like I was so down. And Mama Sue, Mother Beauty McClain, and she said, "Baby," and she said, "I need you to play that tambourine today, and I want you to play it like you got like you just." She said, "I want you to play it like you know your breakthrough coming through." And I be playing the tambourine with her, playing that tambourine, and playing that tambourine. And it's just at first it was a blessing because I remember as I played the tambourine, her tambourine, for my birthday one time. I came to church, Mama Sue, and she said, "Josh." I said, what's up? How you doing? "I got you a birthday gift. I got you a tambourine." So now, I mean, I be in church, I be playing my tambourine up because I think about all the things that she taught me, and my mom taught me, my dad taught me, and just growing up and being seeing my mom and dad and put us in church and things like that, and seeing how my sister, how all of us, how we stayed in church 24/7, even when in 2002, 2002 as well, when I graduated high school. Even after I graduated, we had my cousin got shot down in cold blood almost 17 times. My mom would always take him to church with us all the time, but he's got around the wrong crowd, Mama Sue. And the Lord laid upon my heart to do a gospel concert on the street corner. And Mama Sue, it was nobody but God, because my brothers, everybody was so devastated, and they was like, "Man, we gotta do something for our community, Josh. We gotta do something because everybody's so devastated." And Mama Sue, when I tell you, I began to join with the prayer walk. A lady put in the paper, she said, "The Lord said we gotta do a prayer walk." During that time, Mama Sue, I began to start lining up everything to do a concert on the same street where my cousin got shot down in cold blood.
Mm.
And it was something. But you know what? It's like we was praying. So we started off with 5 people walking the streets and praying, and then we went from 5 people to 20 people one Saturday, and then from 20 people it went to like almost 60 people. From 60 people it went to almost 100 people. And when the lady said, she said, "My assignment here is up now. I've done what God told me to do." I had my flyers and said, "Y'all, we having a concert here on this street corner that we've been walking around praying for." And Mama Sue, it was so packed out that I got my gospel group together and we sung called Breakthrough. And we sung Mama Sue. And when I say the street, everybody was saying that was like, even the news came down. The news was like, "You got to be a bold guy to go on a street where everybody, where people a person got shot down in cold blood." I said, "Because I'm doing what God called me to do." I said,
Mm.
"There's a people that need me. There's a people that's hungry. There's a people that's thirsty. There's a people that's crying out for help." And I said, I want to be that person and a lot of times it don't take a whole lot for God to do what he got to do. And all
Right.
he needs is just two or three I got in my name in one accord. The Lord is in midst. And so when we got on that suit, when I tell you it was something, I needed a sponsor. And my brother Elijah, he stays in Texas out there. You got to meet him one day in Houston, Texas. And I told Elijah, "We need some sponsors. We need some sponsors." So we went to this car lot, Mama Sue, and we have no money. I'm just being real with you. We have no money, Mama Sue. But we had some faith. And because my daddy and my mom has always taught me how to go in faith and walk in faith. I walked up in that place. I showed the man the flyer. He said, "So what you trying to do here? What you trying to do?" And I told him what was going on. He said, "You got to have some bold faith." He said, "Mighty fact." He said, "It sounds good." He said, "How can I be a sponsor for it?" I said, "Huh? You gonna be a sponsor for it?" He said, "Yeah." "Yes, Joshua, I would be a sponsor for this gospel concert. I will be your sponsor." He said, "We trying to sell as many cars we can." And I said, "What?" I said, "Hey, you go on the stage." And then another guy donated his 18-wheeler truck. So my brother Elijah was like, "We're going to get an 18-wheeler truck." I said, "I'm going to get an 18-wheeler truck bed from." He said, "We get an 18-wheeler truck bed." And Mama Sue got that 18-wheeler truck bed. And he put his keyboards on there. We got drums, put the group on there. And then they made you took an 18-wheeler truck bed and had us on the top of it. And then all my stuff, it was amazing how we start the concert off and how the streets begin to get packed with people. It was so packed, Mama Sue. We never even called the police out to even help us, right? The police had to like block the streets off and said, "We're gonna guard this tonight for y'all." How about that?
God can do it.
So it's do it in his timing and his season. And it's not about trying to be the big shot or anything like that. But as time went by, I kept doing that as well. And the Lord began to speak to me about doing insurance. I remember I kept filling my tests. I failed like 4 times. And Mama Sue, it was just something. I mean, because my dad sold insurance, my mom sold insurance, and they sold it for a couple of years, a lot of years. And I said, "I want to be an insurance agent." I remember, Mama Sue, I went through so much, and my wife had just got married. We've been married this year almost 20 plus years. I remember she told me, she said, "Baby, it may not be your time yet." I said, "What you talking about?" She said, "It may not be your time yet. You may need to hold it off for a second and just stay what you doing, what you good at." And so I said, "Well, I know I'm good at sales." So I went and started selling cars. I sold almost 30, 40 cars a month for car dealerships. So I was one of the top sales out there and just doing everything. I was in the cell phone industry where I became one of the toppest guys in the industry in Grenada area. So I stayed in sales, And when the Lord directed me and my wife this way, we went from Grenada, Mississippi to Jackson, Mississippi area, to Rankin County area where we live at now. It was a transition. It's really a transition because I never knew what God was doing. And when God say go, you got to go. And I remember when I had a heart. I had a heart for state the area of Grenada, Mississippi area. But the Lord said, "I got more for you to do. I got more works for you to do that you haven't even seen yet." And I remember, getting my license. And one night I was up in the church. I had just did praise and worship. And I was just feeling kind of, I just wasn't feeling my best that Sunday night. And Mama Sue, I went inside the bathroom and I turned the lights off. And one of the praise worshipers came to me. She said, "Josh," she said, is everything okay? Is everything okay?" I said, "Well, I don't know." And the Lord told me, "I'm calling you into the ministry." And when he said, "I'm calling you to the ministry," it was so heavy that I went to the man of God that I was under then. And I told him, I said, "The Lord has called me." He stopped his whole sermon and began to pray. And I just fell out in the spirit. And I told him, I said, when I remember when I got ordained as well, I said, "Well, man of God," I said, "everybody's telling me I gotta be a prophet and bishop and all that stuff." He said, "Well, son," he said, "you gotta use your gift what God has given you." He said, "Your ministry may be different from everybody else's." And I said, "Well, okay, all right, man." I took what he said and I began to hear that as well. But long story short, as I begin to move this way, one day, Mama Sue, where I'm sitting at right now, my office right now, location, I've been almost 13 years. I remember I was out selling, doing taxes, got in the tax business, started doing taxes. And one day a lady and a guy seen me and they was like, "You'll be good for this kind of business." And I'm like, "What kind of business y'all talking about?" And they came to my office and said insurance. I said, "Oh Lord, again." But when it came in, I had a great friend of mine. He worked for Pride America. I don't mean to say that, but he's a great guy. I love him to this day, Mama Sue. I send him people. He sent me people. And I remember I had made up so many excuses to go to class. He said, Josh, I'm going to pay your way in to get your license. And he said, this time around, he said, you're going to do it. He said, Josh, I see you. He said, I see you. You may not even work for primary. You may work for your own self. But I see something in you, brother. And you're going to be able to help touch a nation, touch a people. He said, you can't see it right now, but it's coming. I remember how I began to just start, studying for this test. And I remember, Mama Sue, when I passed my test after failing almost for a fourth time, I was going to visit my hometown in Grenada that weekend, and I jumped all the way up to the rooftop. My foot was still hurting, but I thank God, and I started off doing it as well. And I remember when I first started doing the life insurance part of it, I would go to all kinds of people's homes and things like that, Mama Sue. And one day, which we are talking about this topic tonight, a lady, I had just did life insurance to her, Mama Sue, and she had blow out through her window. And Mama Sue, it was something. And I remember when I set up her life insurance because I told my dad when I first got my insurance, I want to work for State Farm and Allstate and all these people. And he said, I want you to work for yourself and nobody else. Because one day, God gonna send you all across the place, and you're gonna have something to help people with life insurance. They got pre-existing conditions. He said, because son, if they go somewhere and they can't get no help, they can come to you. I said, okay, Lord. So that day I was in there doing that policy. She pulled a red, white, and blue card out, a Medicare card. And Mama Sue, she told me she was only getting almost $600 a month. And she had the red, white, and blue card, the Medicare card. And I just shared this up there when I was in Missouri area. Everywhere I go, I share this testimony everywhere I go. I even shared it in Alabama yesterday. And Mama Sue, when I told her I did not have my license to even help her with Medicare, she told me her medicine was almost $700 a month. And tears began to flow from her face to her card. And it did something to me. It did something to me because I was like, oh my God, this woman is crying with her Medicare card and got tears on it because she can't even afford her medications. She living on $600 a month. And I said, Lord, let me go and get my license. She said, baby, get all your license. She said, don't just get one. We need people like you that can help us. She said, we need a people like you that can help us. She said, don't you know I am tired of paying $700 a month for my medications? And I ain't give but six. And it was some Mama Sue. And I remember one time somebody told me when I first said I wanted to get my health license. And one of my managers told me, he's dead and gone now, but I thank God for him. And he told me, he said, you don't need to do that. You're doing too much. You don't need to do that. I said, well, man, everywhere I go, somebody is on a red, white, and blue card. Somebody has Medicare. Somebody out there has Medicare. And I said, I'm tired of getting phone calls in, and I can't help them. I want to be a licensed agent, and the Lord did just that. Mama Sue, one day, you see this neighborhood insurance man. I remember one day I was actually at an event, and I had one card left, said neighborhood insurance man. Mama Sue, it was burning up outside. I was sitting for my head all the way down. You know, you having those days that came through. And he said, are you the neighborhood insurance man? I said, yes, sir. He said, we need somebody that can be able to come in and be a part of us. And he said, the DJ is up on the stage right now. And I said, well, okay. And I said, okay. And you know how you take fake moves out. And he said, we're going to talk to you about it. So they called me one day and said, Josh, what are you doing? And I said, they said we want to bring a show on, and we would like to have you as our headline to be a part of this insurance show. We ain't got nobody talking about insurance. And Mama Sue, I just began to start saying the neighborhood insurance man. I started making all this stuff up, just being creative. So when they hear me coming on Saturday morning, the neighborhood insurance man. And I did it for like 4 months, right?
Uh-oh, you froze. Uh-oh. Well, he has frozen. We'll see if we can get him back. Something is going on. But I hope you can see the level of enthusiasm that he has for this because it's more than just a vocation or career. It's a calling. And I think he's back with us. Okay, can we see you now? Let's see if we can get you in there. Uh-huh.
Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But yeah, and it was something, and and we start the show, and we start doing the show, you all. And when I tell you, Mama Sue, I only did the show for like 4 months, right, 3 months, and I was only doing it for Medicare season because when I got into Medicare, I didn't understand like all the stuff about Medicare, but I started studying, going to classes and things like that, and I found out there were so many people that needed help with Medicare. And during that time, a lot of folks that got red, white, and blue card, Medicare card, you got A and you got B. A lot of times, Mama Sue, that's only 80%. And in addition to that, they need the 20%. And a lot of times they got to pay out their pocket for that. They got to spend the money premium every month next year, which is 185. But a lot of times individuals only keep a red, white, and blue card. And from me doing it those couple of months on the radio, I began to just really explain it. And I was like, if you got Medicare and Medicaid, you can get additional benefits. They can help you with all kind of stuff like your dental, your vision, your hearing, all that kind of stuff. But as we kept going on with this show, I told him at the end of it, Mama Sue, I said, well, I think it's about time for me to go. And he was like, oh, he said, don't you know you got a rating going on? Everybody is loving the neighborhood insurance man. And I remember I began to say, okay, Lord. And he said, what we got to do to keep you on the radio? And I did not know I was being heard through iHeartRadio. I did not know this. And so a lot of times God prepares you for the people. And it's all about being a blessing to those people as well. But right now, we are in that season where everybody is trying to get help with Medicare. You're getting all the weird phone calls coming in. Everybody's bombarding your phone. Mama Sue, when I tell you it's a blessing to help people, I remember I was heading to the National Baptist Convention with President Kim Boris. And I remember when I was heading up there, a lady called me from an agency. So what I normally do, I go to agencies and pass my cards out. And I said, if anybody come in this agency that need help, just call me. The lady called me, Mama Sue, and she had a medication for $4,000. And she told me, Josh, I'm gonna go without my medication for a whole month. My B12 shots cost me $800. And what I normally do is I go in and I try to access everything that the person needs. And Mama Sue, I was heading to the National Baptist meeting in my van, going up the road, driving to Kansas City, Missouri. She called me and said, Josh, I got a word for you. I went to the pharmacy and my medications was zero. She said, not only that, Josh, but also my B12 shots went down to $1.30. And she said, look, man, you just don't know who you just helped. Mama Sue, just a smart enough testimony. Had another lady, her
Hey, well,
mom,
stop,
what
stop, stop. Time
the
out, time
debt
out,
baby,
time
y'all.
out.
The mom
Wait,
was
wait, wait, wait,
actually,
wait, wait.
yes,
Because we got some
awesome,
questions
awesome.
that are going to come forth
Can you
on
hear
the
me now?
line. Because we hear you. But what I want you to do is pause for a second so we can ask you a few questions. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You cannot hear me?
Did we go out?
No,
Hold on for a
I
second.
hear. I can hear you fine, but I want you to pause long enough for us to ask some questions. And so I know that some of you have uh, questions that you want to have Joshua to answer regarding your Medicare. If you have a Medicare card and you are a Medicare recipient, I want you to be able to ask any questions that you have about your Medicare benefits because some of us have lived long enough to finally get the red, white, and blue card, but we need to know what else we need to do in order to be able to maximize what we're doing on insurance. So let me see if I can add it back now. Let's see. Okay. Are you there? I hear you. Okay. Now I'm seeing three different Joshuas. Now there's another Joshua. Now you got to unmute your mic. I can hear.
Hello.
Yeah, there you are. There you are. You're clear. Ooh, we can see you good, but you're frozen. Uh oh. Technical difficulties. I hear something kind of rolling in the background because if you're like me, that's what I have is a red, white, and blue Medicare card, and I'm grateful that the Lord keeps me as healthy as He does. I don't have medications or anything that I need to purchase or acquire. But for those of you that are on Medicare, you may have some questions about what to do. And one of the questions that I had was if you are consulting some of these enrollment places, I was asking Josh, how does he get paid? He gets paid as an independent licensed provider by various agencies. So he doesn't have a dog in the fight. He's not just trying to sell you something that is represented by, say, Humana or whoever. He gets his. There you are. Now we on the phone. You good? Can you hear? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear
You
me?
can't hear. I can hear you.
This thing is, Lord.
I can hear you fine, but you cannot hear
Can you
me.
hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you great. And I can see you great on your phone,
Man, what
but
is going on tonight? We got to get this together.
I can hear you fine. Now you just muted yourself. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Man,
Okay, I cannot hear him. This is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to put some of the questions in the comment if you all have Medicaid, Medicare questions. We'll see if we can add those to the chat. There is a private chat, Joshua. And what I would like for you to do is tell how, let me go in and show you a screen. Our audio is messing up tonight, y'all. I apologize. I'm so sorry. That's what happens sometimes. And you can tell we are live because that's what it's doing. We don't no purporting. But let me put on the screen. This is how you can get some Medicare assistance from Joshua. If you are in need of support or help, he is able to cover a number of areas. A number of areas. So let's see if I can get him back now. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Yes. Hey, the
Okay.
devil
You
is
can
a
hear me now?
liar. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I hear you, but you freeze
Hello?
it. Yeah.
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
I can hear you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So what I wanted you to do,
Awesome. Awesome. The devil is a liar.
okay, I want you to tell the people what are the first steps they need to take if they are wanting to do something different with their Medicare or Medicaid. What steps
Medicare.
if they
Yes.
want to
The
do something
steps
different?
are okay. Awesome. The steps I would say is be able to call me and what we you first about the A, B, the C, and the D, and also be able to do a scope of appointment with you to get your permission, and also be able to evaluate what you currently got going on right now with your plan as well to see if there's anything else out there for you. So for what I do, Mama Sue, it don't cost anything. It's totally free, no cost to talk to me about your Medicare because I'm here to make sure that you have everything lined up, that you have your doctors, your prescription cost medication, that you have all your dental, your vision, your hearing, and all that stuff, and your things like that added to your benefits. And Mama Sue, a lot of people don't know this. It does not go by their income from October 15th to December 7th. It does not go by their income. Okay. So long as they got Medicare A and B, we can help them with Part C. Part C also has the 20% that they're needing at no additional cost. No additional cost. Also, that Part C has your primary visits at zero cost. Okay. No deductible. A lot of times when you keep the red, white, and blue card and you have it by itself, you got with me, and I get you. And I
Wait a
get
minute, we missed part of that. Go back and repeat that
okay,
again,
awesome.
Josh.
Okay, awesome. So once they get with me and I help them with Part C, right? That gives them the 20% that they're needing. Okay. That also gives them the primary visits, their specialists, their dental, their vision, their hearing, their free gym membership, their OTC benefits. And some people may qualify for food cards and grocery cards next year. And what they're doing this year for next year, 2026, everybody who has like diabetes, heart conditions, all kind of stuff, they can actually qualify for possibly a food card for next year. Okay. So what they're looking at is seeing the critical condition that people actually have that's on Medicare, that need help with medications, need help with their primary visits, need help with their prescriptions, and they just don't know what's out there for them to get help. Me, I walk you through every step. Now, Mama Sue, you probably gonna see this right here, because this is how I educate my people, just like this. You got the A and you got the B. That qualifies you for Part C. Part C is called your advantage. That's your primary visits. That's your dental. That's your vision. That's your hearing. And then we tie in Part D. Some people are paying for extra for Part D right now. We tie it all in up under one house, one roof. Your 80%, that's your Medicare. And then what happens is that 80%, it also gives you that 20%. So now you got 100% on top of your roof. You got the A and the B that qualifies you for Part C, that ties in Part D. Okay. And also with that, you be an umbrella where you have everything under one roof. We have HMO networks and PPO networks. Some people don't know what HMO is. HMO is your health maintenance organization. What is PPO? PPO is your preferred providers organization. Okay. So, Mama Sue, A lot of times when people actually tell me they would actually go and use this card and they would actually go to the doctor by having just regular Medicare. And they would tell me when they would show this card to the doctor for their primary visit, they was paying $100 for just one visit. I had a guy told me, Mama Sue, I actually sat down with him. And he said every time he went to the doctor and he showed the regular card, regular with red, white, and blue, just like this, they charged him $100 every time he came in. When I got through helping him, Mama Sue, with all this, when he went to his primary visit, it was zero. Zero. Starting January the 1st, he went, he said, Josh, he said, I did not, he said, all this time, these folks been charging me, overcharged me for my doctor visits. But a lot of times he just didn't know. He only had just regular A and B. Okay. Did you not know regular A and B does not have a whole lot of stuff with it, Mama Sue? I had a lady had 7 strokes and she was trying, and her family was paying for home health care for her. Home health care for her was $800 a week. Mama Sue, they called me one day and said, look, all she got is this right here. Mama Sue, I got into this right here. I got an A. She already had the B already. I got into C. That C included home health. I told them everything that was going on with this lady. Mama Sue, they reached out to the family and gave her free home health care. Told her husband, told the family, look, we're going to get this lady these 10 hours of care at no cost. So now that $800 that they were paying for home health care, ain't got to pay it no more. So it's
Okay.
all about understanding.
Yeah, let me ask you this because when someone is on Medicare, you said they have A and
Mhm.
B just with the red, white, and blue card.
Yeah. So what happens is the A is they get it while they're working. The B is when they get it when they fully retire. So when a person come off their job and they say, hey, I'm about to retire, Josh. Okay. So when they retire, they actually go ahead and get their Part B then when they turn 65. They can get on Medicare from 65 below or disabled. Okay. So they can actually get on Medicare when they're 65 below or disabled. As long as they have enough quarters of work history. Some people will never be able to get Medicare A and B because they never have worked enough quarters. Okay. And then A, to get A and B, you got to have at least state taxes paid in. So some people have never did that. So they're stuck with Medicaid for the rest of their life. They can't get it. Okay.
Okay. So
So
if they have Medicare and they have the A and the
mhm,
B, then you're saying that they can
yes,
qualify for the Part C, and
the Part C.
that would be an additional
No, it
payment.
would not cost them any. It would not. That Part C does not cost them anything. They qualify for it because they have A and B. Okay. That C is something that ties in because it's something get additional. See, a lot of times, like a lady, like I'm gonna break this down to you. I had a lady one time, and when I first started doing this, all she had was 80%. That's all she had. 80%. I was at her house, Mama Sue. She said her bill at the hospital was almost $5,000. She said, all I got is 80%. I said, that's why you don't have 20%. You don't have the X 20%. She said, no, I don't have that. So I said, well, when you go in the hospital, all you got is 80%. Where your 20% at? Right? So her daughter said, now, Josh, I see what you're saying now. So if my mom comes with you, she got A and B, right? And she gets into Part C with you. That don't cost her nothing. So when she go in the hospital, a lot of the plans give you up to like 9,000, 8,000 a year, whatever like that. But when she go in the hospital, it's like she's covered full right then and there, right? So that gives her that primary visits, that hospital stays, all that stuff when she ties in the Part C. Because when you go in the hospital, and you going in wanting 80% with just a red, white, and blue card, they're going to charge you so much for that because you don't have enough.
Okay, so if you're out there and you're listening, and all you have is Medicare A and B right now, because maybe you thought that it was going to cost you something additional, because even if you have Medicare A and B, you're going to pay that base rate, which is what is it now,
Yes,
100 and whatever. You're going
that's
to
the
pay that.
standard monthly premium. Yeah, everybody in the whole entire world has to pay Part B.
Right. So you're paying that already. But what he is saying is that the Part C benefits that will give you the
Yes.
additional 20% coverage if you have charges, that does not add anything additional to your base rate. So if you pay that
That's it.
185, you're going to have the additional 20% without having to pay anything additional.
Yes, and then what's going to do is give them their primary visits. It give them their specialists. It give them their dental, their vision, their hearing, and they will have no deductible. Part C has no deductible. If you actually study your Medicare as well, A and B in your books and stuff, it'll tell you there's a deductible, right? When you keep
Mhm.
regular Medicare, there's a deductible you got to meet. When you get in Part C, there's a zero deductible. Zero deductible. That's going to give you everything in there. And also with that Part C, Mama Sue, it ties in Part D. Part D is their prescription drug coverage. That helps them on their drugs. Some people, Mama Sue, actually got Medicare A and B, but they never had Part D. And they're on a low income bracket. They can possibly qualify for the extra drug help program. Okay, it's amazing. And when I actually apply for that program for them, they can end up getting extra help on their medications that will help lower costs their medications down. Okay. So what happens is when they get their low cost of medications down, they got the Part D also in there. So they're not paying full cost for those medications. And Part D being added to Part C and everything else, it's not costing them any additional for that. So now everything is going under one roof. It's like the umbrella. I call myself the umbrella because we try to put everything under one roof. You may have Aetna, right? A lot of folks say, well, when I get in that plan, it's going to take away my Medicare. It does not take away your Medicare. The A and the B, you put it up under something else. Like I work for all the companies, Aetna, Humana, United Healthcare, all of them. What happens is you got the Medicare right here. We tie in, it's like a house, and you put that Medicare up under that provider. Now that provider gives you more, right? Than you not having more. So it gives you more. It gives you everything that you're needing, the C, the D, and a lot of times it helps you with so much more than what you have. Instead of you keeping regular A and B, and you got Part D by itself, what you got to think about, if I just got A and B and I got D separate, because they tell you got to have Part D for prescription drug coverage. You ain't got no Part C, so that means you paying for dental, you paying for vision, you paying for hearing, you paying for all this stuff out your pocket. But by adding C, you get everything up under that bundle. I had a lady was telling me she was living on fixed income. My husband had just died. And she said, Mama Sue, she was trying to put money in an account just to pay for her dental. When I met with her, I got her $3,000 in dental. She said, Josh, I can't even how to save money in my account for my dental work. She said, I have to raise all this money in my account to try to pay for my dental work. Now you came in and gave me Part C, which gives me dental. Hearing aids. A lot of folks need hearing aids. Their hearing is off. You may have loved ones that need hearing aids. A lot of times the Part C offer you good hearing aids that you can be able to hear out of. Glasses. Mama Sue, my
So,
mom does the same thing I do. And she said it was a man telling her he was getting glasses for $1.90 from Dollar General. When she got him into the plan, Mama Sue, he almost started crying with tears. He actually went to an eye place and got his glasses for $500. That makes him see better. Part C is giving you vision, where you can actually go get you some good glasses instead of cheap glasses. You're getting stuff, it's making your health better. And Mama Sue, think about how many people want to go to the gym and work out where somebody else is paying for a membership. A person that has Part C don't have to even pay for the gym membership. So it's all about bettering your lifestyle, giving you more help, more help. That's what it's all about.
Okay, wow, mind blowing because you have already busted a few myths that I had about insurance. Because the first thing it does is aggravate me when it come on the TV with all of the commercials telling me, "Well, call this one, call that one," and and we don't know what to do. And I be thinking, my mind was thinking, okay, well, there's going to be an additional charge for this, or what am I giving up if I'm doing
No.
this? I'm already paying Medicare. So this is already enlightening to know that your base
Mm,
rate is already entitling you to additional benefits, but you just need to
additional
get
benefit.
independent insurance, your neighborhood insurance man, and let him explain. He is licensed. Joshua, I'm going to put a visual up on the screen that talks about how to get in touch with you. And while I'm showing
Yes.
that, you tell the people where you are licensed to operate.
Awesome, awesome. I'm licensed in Georgia, Florida, Texas. Man, a lot of states: Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, all kind of places as well. And we can also add states. We are licensed in Florida as well, Chicago, Illinois. We're in the Illinois area, and so we're all over. But we'll be adding more states as we go. But we here to help them, Mama Sue. And I'm telling you, God is good because me being on this A, B, C, and D and helping these people just guide them, it's a blessing. I'm actually doing a sales seminar in Louisiana on Friday for people there because then another lady called me for another whole group of people. She said, Josh, just for you putting this A and B out, come Thursday to our church because we got a whole group of people that don't understand Medicare. They don't understand it. They Mighty fact, my husband folks been enrolled in last year, never got a chance to enroll, but God has sent you all the way to Louisiana to help us. And that's what it's all about. It's all about guiding people the right way and not the wrong way. I will make sure that I look everything up for you, your doctors, your medications, all that kind of stuff, because it means a lot that these next 6 weeks that I work up to December 7th, that people out there have help and you can have help. It's all about helping you right where you are. And a lot of y'all need food and groceries. Next year, there's so many great things out there for people to be able to get their food and groceries and eat healthy. Because a lot of times when you have Part C, that gives you groceries, that gives you a lot of more stuff to be able to help your loved ones. And think about your loved ones that's out there that's on the red, white, and blue card, A and B. And you got to do all this stuff for them. I had one girl one time. She told me she had to do everything. I had to do cleaning for my mama. I had to do cleaning for the house. I had to clean up for, take baths for. There is help for you with Part C that will help the people take baths. It will help them get aided care at the house. It will help them get all this stuff for free.
That's
For
awesome.
free.
So this is
Wheelchairs, everything, wheelchairs, canes, where they can actually. Like I was seeing a lady yesterday, Mama Sue, and now I actually got a cane coming to her, an actual wheelchair for her, where she can be able to get up and move around with it. All that stuff, Mama Sue. Think about people on diabetes, where they taking all these high blood pressure, these diabetes, and they're taking insulin shots, and they're taking all these shots and stuff. They got things that where they can give them freestyle levers for free, all kinds of stuff to help our people have a better health. That's what
this
it's
is
all about.
This is awesome. So I just want you to know that God uses people in a variety of ways. Sometimes we think the only ministry is between the four walls of the church, but God has people working in all kinds of avenues to be a blessing to his people. So if you are someone or you know of someone who needs help understanding all of the cloud that's around Medicare benefits, please give him a call. You can go back to this video and look, or if you don't have that, you can DM me directly, but you can find him. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram, Joshua McClain. Look for him. You'll find the
Yes.
neighborhood insurance man, Joshua McClain, and he will be able
Yes.
to explain it to you and work with you until you understand and know exactly what you.
Yes.
Here's the part that we want to drive home. It is zero cost to you for a free consultation. If you have questions,
Zero.
he has the answers, and everybody that is either you know you need it or you know somebody who needs it. And if you are good, then you can pass the word along to somebody else who is in need of support and help so that we can all level up and be our very best because for whatever
And
time.
that's what it's all about, Mama Sue. Yes, that's what it's all about. I remember, Mama Sue, when I first started doing state of Mississippi, I was just doing what I had to do to gain knowledge and understanding. I have to take almost 10 tests every year and be certified for all this stuff. A man walked up to me, and I was at a United Healthcare meeting, and Mama Sue, he told me, "I can't stand you." And I said, "Why?" I said, "I'm just here to do what God called me to do. I just want to help people." He said, "Everywhere I go, I'm seeing neighborhood insurance man, neighborhood insurance man." And I told him, I said, "Man, I said, there's enough people in this world that God has for us to help every day." And I said, "That's what I'm trying to do." And he walked away with red. He walked away. He was so mad. Another guy was with him, said, "Young man, God gonna take you so many places if you keep doing just like that." He said, "Cause now I see who you are." And when you said God has assigned you to do this assignment to help people. And whether I help one or two or three, I've helped somebody. And that's what it's all about, Mama Sue. It'd be nice to know that we can help an older lady get some wheelchairs and get some canes and also be able to go inside the house and clean the house up for her. Help them bathe themselves and clean them up, all kind of help for them. But a lot of times we as believers in Christ, we're believers, but you ain't got to do everything yourself. Sometimes all you out there trying to take care of mama 24/7, and it's a blessing to take care of her. But God has sent help to you where all that stress and pressure won't be on you. He'll send you some help in the house and say, "Hey, look, how can I help? How can I clean? I heard that this person needed this."
That's excellent. So we are delighted. Listen, I want you to get in touch with him. Joshua, thank you for making the time. We had lots of technical glitches that was trying to freeze you and keep you from getting the message out, but we made it through. And listen, would you come back
Hallelujah.
again sometime? Will you come back again
I
sometime?
definitely will. I definitely will come back. We can
Life
have it on a
insurance
headset, things like that.
after we
Yes,
get
I
past
definitely
all the
will.
Medicare enrollment because
Yes, yes.
somebody that is very plain spoken and that we can relate to be able to
Hmm.
explain things in a way that we understand. Hang out with me as we're getting ready to close. I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Do you have a last word you want to share with everybody?
Just know that in this season, while you are in this season, that God is not through. His hand is still working on you. His hand is still going to take you places. His hand is still going to, in all the stuff we're going through right now, and that God has sent some more hands to help you. He is sending people to help you. He's sending provider. He's sending everything that you need. So don't think you're alone. Know that God has people. God has everything lined up because he gonna make sure that in this season that you don't go in drought. He gonna make sure in this season that you don't go in doubt. He gonna make sure he comes through for you. So hang on in there, my brother and my sister. I love you and I thank God for you. And know that in this season, I'm here to help you with your Medicare. I'm here to help your mama, help your daddy, help your sister, help your brother. Because it's all about being a blessing where we could be a blessing at, and also meeting that need that needs to be met. That heavy information, that heavy load that you're constantly carrying over and over and over again, that you can call me and I can help you and guide you through your Medicare and guide you through every step of the way to make sure you're not led the wrong way, but you're led the right way. And I love you.
Ah, that is so good. What a blessing to have people in the kingdom who can offer assistance to the body of Christ. And that's what we need. And for those of you who are tuning in outside of the Midland area, maybe your church could benefit from having him to present a seminar virtually. You can get in touch with him and have him come on and do a Zoom for the members of your church or your senior citizen group or your book club, whatever, whoever. These are things that are at our disposal that we can take advantage of because God has willed it so. We thank you so much for being here tonight for Moments with Mama Sue. As always, it's a blessing to try to bring the very best to you. If you're following me, get in touch with me. Follow me and let me know that you want other information or services or ideas brought forth. That's the way we grow because it's all about community, and I'm all about that. I want to thank you for your time tonight, and we look forward to seeing you out here in these social media streets somewhere. You can catch up with me on TikTok tomorrow at 12 noon Central Standard Time or wherever it is, and know that I appreciate you and I do love you with the love of the Lord. And we look forward to seeing you on the next Moments with Mama Sue.